Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. Ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. Talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
It's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. Ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it, get it.
ticket, talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. I'm a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
All right, welcome everybody to another episode of nice background. Head to Head with Brian Parker. I am he. Welcome to another week. Charlotte, what happens when the timer stops? The show begins. We are coming in live and direct. Let's see if I can make this a little bit. There we go. I like that a little bit better. We're coming to you live and direct for another week of talk around the world of politics and what's going on in the world. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. Thanks for either catching us on the live stream or catching us on the replay. Speaking of live stream, we are streaming live on Roku TV as well as Instagram, as well as YouTube, and we were streaming live on Facebook, but full disclosure, Facebook sucks. So I've stopped wasting my time on Facebook. Marie Brown, Brooklyn. Marie Brown. Hey, Marie Brown. So anywho's, we were doing a little bit of Facebook, but man, they just kept flagging my post incorrectly, and it took a lot to try to dispute it and get it back on the air before the show actually went live. So I've kind of given up on that. But in its stead, I've reached out to Twitch, and we are streaming live on Twitch. So any of my folks out there that are watching us now from Twitch, which I do see one person, welcome. We do appreciate it. For our folks on Instagram, welcome. We do appreciate it. And for our folks on our YouTube channel, Empower TV Network, thank you for joining us. Please, wherever you're tuning in from, please do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe, as that definitely does help with the algorithm and help to get the show out there into the universe. So what is Head to Head? Head to Head is basically a show where I go to head to head with a lot of the topics going on out there in the world. We take them on, we discuss them. I don't come prepared with anything to shove down your throat, but I just hit them up as we go. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, please put them in the box. Just be as respectful as you can. I don't care if you're colorful. Just be damn well respectful. No conspiracy theories allowed. Whatever that means to you. I'll let you know what it means to me. Anywho's, also, excuse me, if you are a content provider yourself, if you are a business owner and you would like to be able to promote your business, your goods or services, please reach out to us at theparkermedia@gmail.com. We would love to be able to partner with you, be able to put your product, your service, your event out there for everybody to see. Always keep in mind that a lot of these outlets do have a wide reach, and you never know who may see those particular things. We also know that advertising can be a very expensive proposition depending on where you choose to advertise. So we want to make things affordable for people, but for them to be able to get their goods and products out. To give you one example of that type of flavor that we do, here's an ad, a quick ad, y'all, from Jermaine Parker Realty. And we'll see you on the other side. Buying a home is one of the biggest decisions that you'll make. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help you navigate through that process. We know that a home is more than just a place to live. It creates memories. Here at Jermaine Parker Realty, we're here to help. Give us a call and let us get started on your journey. All right, that's how we do. So if you've got a good service, you want to do a commercial spot, you just want to do a table read where you want us to just read it for you, we do have packages where we can do that, put it on the Roku channel, and air it on our live programs. We do this show on Thursdays at live at 7 p.m. Uh, and then on our sister platform, we have Head to Head Sports, where we have our NFL show on Mondays at 7 p.m. with myself and my co host, Randall Hargrove, where we break down the latest goings on in the world of the National Football League. If you're a content creator and you have an idea for a show that you would like to be able to stream on Roku as well, and you want to partner with us, again, there's the email address right there at the bottom, theparkermedia@gmail.com. Reach out to us and let's chat it up and see if it's something that makes sense for the both of us. All right, with that said, let's get on into the show. It's going to be me tonight, along with my producer with the stunning background, Lori Lolo Parker. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Yes, unfortunately, because I have changed my computer, I don't no longer have the access to the banners and stuff.
To the
So
to the
I'm
banners.
not the backgrounds. So
Didn't just let you blur.
no, no. Um I have an Apple, so it's a little different. I have to do it in a different way.
Now, did you just get this thing?
Yeah, I bought it for the other creative things that I have to be doing now. So yes. So it's easier to do like creative stuff. And it's refurbished. It's not completely new. No. No. Hello.
Now you bought a computer. Okay. Anyway, I thought about that later. Hmm.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. That's interesting. Okay. Anyway, so you guys keep sending those comments through. We will definitely address them as we go throughout the show. First thing on, as you see in the as you see, I named the show. I'm going to start giving the shows actual names and headings, and hopefully that will also help with the algorithm and start it's instead of just it saying head to head as the header. We'll put out some titles, so hopefully that will grab some people's attention. Um, thumbs down, thumbs down. Um,
Stephen
who
A.
saw this?
Smith.
Huh?
Stephen A. Smith. Thumbs down. National
So
Black Journalists.
so at the National Association of Black Journalists convention that they do every year, they've been doing since 1989. There's a particular award that they give out most years. There's a few years where they didn't give it out, but most of those years they've given out an award called the Thumbs Down Award, and it's to bring a spotlight on people or organizations that the National Association of Black Journalists feel um, are detrimental or it's disparaging against um, black journalists, political figures, etc. Um, they had 5 recipients this year. Um, it had entities like CBS News, Washington Post, FCC Chair Brendan Carr. There was another gentleman too that had gotten it. Um, but the person, fourth person slash entity they announced was Stephen A. Smith, who most people know from ESPN, loud, boisterous Stephen A. Smith on First Take in the mornings and things like that. Stephen A. Smith, over the last couple of years, has started, he then started to appear on Sirius XM to host his own show, Stephen A. Smith Show. And then he's also now broadened out Straight Shooter, I believe is the name of the show, on YouTube. And I may be even giving him too much free advertisement. But anyway, most people can find it anyway. And his Straight Shooter show is mostly politics as well. And he has interesting takes. The one thing I'll say to anybody that has a platform, we have a platform. You do not have to agree with anything I say. Guess what? I don't give a shit. Um, Show's still gonna go on. Um, and same thing for him. But the thing is that you're still going to be in some way or another accountable for the things that you say. Not accountable from the standpoint that it can alter whether your show goes live or somebody shuts down your platform, but it can be accountable from the way that people view what you say and how they choose to respond to what you say. Um, Now I'm in full disclosure. I used to watch First Take, not live because I actually worked during the day, but I would catch a lot of the clips that they would post on YouTube and still basically have watched most of the show or certain parts of the show that I like. I was a fan of Stephen A. Just for the simple fact that we both shared disdain for the Dallas Cowboys, and he would love to just go all in on the Cowboys, and I was here for it. And I operated in that for the longest, Lori, where I was like, okay, he's loud, he's boisterous. A lot of it I just took as, it was performative. It had become what he was known for, and he was pretty much using that to kind of play to the crowd and the audience, and that's fine. If you got a thing, you got a thing. Um, Once he started down the road of politics, and this is what I'll say, if you want, I don't think you have to necessarily be a political science major, a history major, or anything like that to talk about politics. Because I think that we all are affected by how politics affects all of our lives. I mean, any decision that you make a lot of times is in a ecosphere of decisions that other people have made for us. You know, if you want to fly somewhere, there are decisions that people in Washington, D.C. have made on your behalf. If you want to buy gas to put in your car, if you want to buy a car, there are people that are in place that set rates, that set policies for uh, car dealerships. So politics is everywhere, whether you acknowledge it or not. It's invisible in a lot of ways, but it's real. It's a hell of a lot more real than half of this stuff that people follow on Facebook, Instagram, and all this other stuff. Is a hell of a lot more real than this reality TV that y'all just can't get enough of, where everybody sit up with their breast all propped up in push-up bras, calling each other bitch this, bitch that, and ready act like they're ready to fight on TV with fake hair, knowing good and well they're not gonna mess them bundles up. It's a lot more real than that. It affects you more than that. But there's a lot of people in those rooms, in those offices in Washington, D.C., in your state capitals, at your county commissions that are just well and fine with y'all worrying about what Papoose and Clarissa doing and why she keep talking about Remy. Uh, all this other kind of stuff out there.
But
And yet,
it's entertaining. That's entertaining because she's crazy.
ain't nothing wrong with being entertained, but there needs to be a little bit more substance to it. I'm not saying that those things are bad in and of themselves. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
It's okay to be entertained. I mean, hell, I watch Marvel. Marvel ain't real, but I see people flying around and shooting lasers out their damn hands. I know it ain't real. It is entertaining. It's a way. We all need those uh distractions away from life. There's nothing wrong with that. Just don't live there. Don't stay there. Don't let that be the sum of everything. Um Make sure that you're still staying connected and informed to the things that affect you, your family, your kids, your future. That's all I'm saying. There's a balance to everything in life, you know? Same thing with politics. If you're a political junkie, touch some grass sometimes. Realize disconnect sometimes. It's good to do. I had to do that with this show a little bit where we ain't been on the air for a while, and a lot of it was for my own mental health. I need to step away for a little bit. Now I also had some other issues, and I'm still having it a little bit today with a little light sensitivity in my left eye, which I can open it and then I gotta close it. I just can't keep it open. I got too many bright lights in front of me right now, and it's just not gonna work. So, but it's and I kind of felt a little self-conscious about coming on one damn eye open. But I'm pretty much over that right now because the show needs to go on and I need to maintain the show. Um, but Stephen A. Smith had some very interesting views. And what happened was it seemed like he was, in my opinion, where he lost me before I even touched the NABJ. It seemed to me that he was being very apologetic for the current administration. The remarks that he made, even when he talked about Donald Trump, and then he would talk about somebody like Jasmine Crockett. And that was my first turnoff. Jasmine is my girl. But even if she wasn't, Jasmine Crockett is a United States Congresswoman from the state of Texas. She is one of 435 representatives in the House. Okay. She is one of the co-equal branches of government. When I heard Stephen A. basically disparaging her because of the way she talks, which was pretty ironic because of the way he talks. Loud, boisterous, and he just didn't like the way she talks. He was basically insinuating she was ghetto because we've heard this one plenty of times. She does talk. If somebody come on the block said, Brian, do you think Jen Crockett talks hood? She talk like she been around her people. There's nothing wrong with that. She's real. She's authentic. That's nothing to disparage. But then he started talking about how she should not talk about working against Donald Trump. She should be trying to work with him. And in a bubble, yes, that's true. But you have to look at who you're talking about. Donald Trump made it clear a long time ago he does not want to work with, in his words, Democrats, people that are really sick. Um, Something's wrong with them. You cannot square that circle. And he was trying to make it seem like these were normal times when we had a normal person in the White House where you could sit there and do a lot of bipartisan things to get things accomplished. He has no interest in that, making it sound like it was almost her fault why those things could not happen was just misguided at best. And it was almost, as Lori, in my opinion, as if he was putting more onus on her being the adult in the room than the person that holds the highest office in the damn land.
But that's what
He
most
was
of the Republicans do. They
all the
put
time,
the
and
onus on
yeah,
him.
and we'll definitely get into that because even my other thing about the whole harp thing kind of goes into that too, where don't worry about how Trump acts towards anybody, but how people act towards him, and then call it Trump derangement syndrome. And he was really feeding that narrative. Then he started talking about Joy Ann Reid and that and calling her nutty and stuff like that. Had some words about Michelle Obama, and it just seemed to start to create a pattern. He wasn't going on talking about crazy shit that Megyn Kelly says. He ain't said nothing about no Marjorie Taylor Greene. He ain't said nothing about no Laura Loomer. He ain't said nothing about no any of these right wing crazy ass women, Lauren Boebert. None of them that be out there saying some of the craziest, awfulest things in the world. It seemed like his ire and his vitriol was focused on black people, in particular, black women. And it didn't make no sense. Now, Stephen A will sit there. Let me get into it. So, after the NABJ made that announcement over the weekend, and the gasp and the applause and the audience was hilarious, Stephen A responded. He was appalled. He called it bullshit. He said it was a hit job. And his reasons is that he was raised by a single black mother and his sisters. He says that he sounds like Trump. He's done so much for his community. And in a lot of ways he has. I'm not going to say he hasn't. There's a lot of people that have appeared on First Take that it was definitely because of his insistence that they be there. Whether it was Shannon Sharp, whether it was Ryan Clark, whether it was Damian Woody, whether it was Marcus Spears, a lot of those guys ended up on First Take and some of the other ESPN shows because Stephen A. Smith vouched for them to Disney, and he got them on the show. He did. Emmanuel Acho, Sam Acho, Jamel Hill. He did. And here's the thing. Two things can be true at the same time. It ain't either or. Did he sit there and look out for people like that? Yes, he did. Doesn't mean that then you don't turn around and disparage people. You have to realize that as an African American man working in a predominantly white media environment, a lot of times, especially in this political climate, a lot of times, white folks, y'all have to forgive me, but a lot of times white folks don't want to feel uncomfortable. Not all, but a lot of white folks don't want to feel uncomfortable. They want somebody that they feel safe with on screen. That's what they got with Wayne Brady a lot of times. They feel safe. They don't want nobody controversial. That's why Jasmine Crockett is a little too much for him, because she's too real. She sounds ethnic. And even though Stephen A. Smith is very loud and boisterous, it's almost like he's a clown for him. He performs for him, but he's safe. And when he vouches for people, he's basically saying, "Oh, you can have Cam Newton on the show. He'll be good. I promise. He won't mess up." But as soon as something happens, like what's my man Michael Irvin, he started having some issues outside. The ESPN yanked his ass real fast. Shannon Sharp had an issue from a accidental live feed. They yanked them real fast. So those things will happen. Ryan Clark got into it with another guy on air, and they ended up yanking him. So his vouching will get you there, but then you do the slightest little thing, they will yank you quickly. Probably quicker than anybody else that doesn't look like him. Lori, the thing is, on his show, he talked so much crap about how black folks should act. He was judging how they act, which, if you're going to do that, then there needs to be a balance of, okay, I'm okay with you talking about necessarily how people act, but you need to talk about how all people act. Don't talk about how black Democrats act, and you sitting here letting Donald Trump just go around and saying it's and the things that he's saying. You act like it's okay because there's an audience for that that wants to hear you validate the things that you're saying about black women like that. They want to. They want somebody to do that. They have their Jason Whitlock. They have their Byron Donalds. They have their Tim Scott. They have their Larry Elder. Ain't that his name? Larry Elder. Uh, they have those guys. They have this other clown. What's his name? He keep calling himself officer something. He ain't even a damn officer no more. Failed as an NBA
Oh, the
player.
black man.
Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Now he's an officer and he ain't even an officer anymore.
no, he's not, because he's faking it. But
Right.
yes,
Brandon something. Right.
yeah, Brandon something. Yes,
Whatever.
whatever.
Brandon Coon. But they get all these step and fetch tap dancers. And Stephen A, we were hoping with the platform that you had, you wasn't gonna fall into that trap. So then here's the thing. He's appalled. He goes onto his show. He said he was on vacation because he was helping his daughter move in for college. And he got all these alerts while he was having dinner with his daughter that the NABJ gave him the thumbs down award. And uh he was appalled. He said people are probably expecting him to go nuclear. He said he just might, but later. Well, he didn't necessarily go nuclear, or I haven't seen him go nuclear yet, but he probably will. Um, but what he did do is he went on to Newsmax, and then he went on the Sean Hannity show. And Sean Hannity started it out by saying, all you said was that this person was off, this person was a little nutty, and this and this and this, and he didn't correct any of that. So then you basically let Sean Hannity disparage the same people, and you ain't push back on it worth a damn at all. All you wanted to do was go run to them so they could pat you on your damn head and tell you that you've been a good boy. Here's your cookie. You doing good. Don't let them bring you down. We support you because you say stuff we like you to say. We say stuff that we want to say, but it sounds better if you say it. That's what this is. And that's what people are accusing him of. And he ain't like it. And guess what? You don't have to like it, Stephen A. But you're gonna have to wear it because it's 100% earned and deserved. The good thing is that you got a whole 365 days to not get it again next year. But I think you really need to look deep down in yourself. I understand that Disney gave you a hell of a contract with ESPN and all that stuff. I'm sorry. Every time I go on air, my nose itches. I don't know what it is. Um, it's a thing. Do you know why that
Your
happens?
your hand should be itching.
I wish. I wish.
I wish your hand was itching,
I
not
wish.
your
I wish it was on
nose.
fire right now. But no, it's always my nose. It's always the same spot too, which is bad because then it gets kind of sore. But anyway, um, but yeah, he's gonna have to wear that. He's gonna have to really, really look and say, hey, I mean, he deviated from his ESPN platform, obviously, to set up a new platform, which is a good thing. Spread out from ESPN. Do your thing, bro. All of that stuff is good. But you don't have to disparage African American women like that, man. I mean, just the things that he said. I'm not gonna go into all the stuff he said. If y'all want to find out what he said about all these folks, he had smoke for Kamala Harris too. And look, if you want to debate their policies, that's fine. How they act, how they talk, what they sound like, that's crazy. If you want to say, you know what, I believe that Alexandria Ocasio Cortez is her policies are against what I believe in. I'm a capitalist, and it seems like she believes more in socialism. If you want to say that, that's absolutely fine. She's a little bit more on the progressive end. I'm more moderate. I'm more conservative. If I had to be a Democrat or independent, I would be more in the middle. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Let's discuss our policy differences, our ideological differences. What makes you tick as far as how do you believe government works best? Does it work best when it's sitting there providing and helping people, or when it just basically lets everybody fend for themselves, which it does not do because it does pick winners and losers. Um, but normally it's the folks that have that end up winning a lot for some reason. Let you figure that out. Um, if that's what it's about, then let it be about that. Let it be about policy. Somebody, and it's funny, Lori, when I watch these people, the good liars go around to these Trump rallies and stuff like that, they will ask people all the time, "Hey, can you name one thing that you support Donald Trump? I see. Can you name one thing that he's done to make America better?" And how many times do people just sit there and can't give you one thing? I'll even hear some people, Lori, they'll say the stupidest thing. Oh, there's so many. Okay, well, give me one. Ah, I can't, man. There's just so many. Wait a minute. If there's so many, how couldn't you give me one? That don't make sense.
But
And then so then they'll say, well, he got rid of the illegals. How did that? And even if you think he did, which he didn't, but even if you think he did, how's that made your life any better? How's that working out? Because I just saw where the deficit has now hit $40 trillion.
yep.
And for anybody that wants to blame Biden, the deficit never was $40 trillion under Joe Biden. The other thing too is that Joe Biden hasn't been president since January the 20th, 2025 at 11:59 a.m. Y'all need to stop this Biden shit. According to half of y'all, he wasn't even president up until that date because he'd been dead for a couple of years. So, but when they ask these folks, look, Lori, about what has Trump done, they can't point to one policy. What policy has he put into effect to make your life better? No, and it goes dead silence. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
What I was saying is going back to when you were talking about Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith feels like he is in a different class. He doesn't feel like he needs to get the support of people of color or this one. Thus, when he just wants to sit here and he says these disparaging things about black women and all of that stuff, he just feels like he's in a different, like he's above it, like he's like Dave Chappelle when he acted like the white guy.
If that's true, then why I see I don't know if that's true or not. Unless well, it could be. But if
Be-
it's true, then why the faux outrage? Unless it's to
He's
then turn it
playing
into a play into
he's
the media.
playing he's playing to the media at this point because again,
Yeah.
if you think about it, and even if you have someone who is like a PR specialist, and if there's something that has gone on and they need to do a emergency, PR,
Yeah.
he's basically just playing up to it.
Yeah.
Now again, he feels like he's in a way that he's like above every normal anyone. He's at a different echelon, I feel like. So he's just, that's what he does. And then for him to say that he's appalled and shocked in this way, and the fact that he's going to sit here and go nuclear. Stephen A. Smith is like the black taco for Trump, saying Trump's, we always associate Trump as a when he does a taco, when he
Uh-huh.
takes things back. So does Stephen A. Smith, but he's the black taco.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I could kind of see that because so then it's almost like the NABJ gave him
Platform to make just
a-
discuss
an excuse to
whatever.
kind of go run to. I don't want to say that word. I keep not wanting to say it because I don't want to start nothing. But go run to. mm, Anyway,
Newsmax and OAN and all
yeah,
these
but
different,
yeah, I was gonna compare them to something else.
and maybe he might decide to go on to Candace Owens' show. Like it's just, he's just doing buffoonery
Well,
and
yeah,
coonery.
but what he's doing is he's going to them and saying, "See, see how they even attack me too. My color ain't protecting me either. They coming after me just like they come after y'all." And I've seen other folks like Sage Steele try to hitch her wagon that way. Candace Owens hitch her wagon that way to feel like, you know what, I'm gonna go where the money's at, and the money's far goes a lot further towards the right than it does the left. And it does. That right wing media stuff where they do a lot of conspiracies and fear mongering and stuff like that, it's a very profitable business. Fox News got sued for $787 million for talking shit um, about the elections, and they had to pay up, and they're still in business. They got sued and had to pay $787 million, and they still in business. How many other businesses would have to write a $787 million check and can still be in business the next day? So that tells you, and still pay your on-air talent millions of dollars a year. Hannity, or not O'Reilly, but Jesse, all them folks on the Five, and everything else. That tells you that Fox News is doing just fine when Murdoch can cut a $787 million check, and it don't stop that show at all. Um, it's very profitable to fearmonger and to do all of that. Um, and I get that. So yeah, you're probably right. But there's another comparison. I'm gonna kind of jump right into that one with Senator Jon Ossoff doing the same thing for the right. Um, I'm sure he didn't intend for it to do that. Uh, they were just waiting because of all of the stuff that's going on right now with the Republican Party. Approval ratings are down. No meaningful legislation has been passed. They don't even call the big beautiful bill the big beautiful bill anymore. They've renamed it to something even dumber. They tried to rebrand it, and the name that they rebranded it doesn't even make sense. Hold on, I'm gonna tell you what it's called. Uh, Hold on. What is the name of the big beautiful bill? They now call it the official name is big. No, they renamed it something Americans Act or something like that. They renamed it. I can't find it right now. Let me see if let me try one more time. The big beautiful bill was renamed to what? Yeah, there it is. The Working Families Tax Plan. And the reason that they named it that was they said that, well, Americans are getting more back on their taxes because
No,
of
we're not.
the cuts that they did. They're getting more money in their pocket because of the tax cuts.
No, we're not.
Now, some people did get more back in taxes, but here's a problem. the tariffs that Trump put in place basically wiped out whatever increase you got in taxes. So there you go. Take if I take $20 out of your left hand and I put $20 in your right hand, did you just make $20?
You made zero.
You made, but but I just described to you Republican politics. That's what they did. They took one thing out of one hand, put it in the other hand, and now want you to reelect them because they put something in your hand. Don't worry about what I took out of the other hand. Just look at what I put in this hand. Isn't that enough for you?
And plus, with the next phase of the whatever the working families, whatever that new name is,
The working
which
families tax plan.
which is going to then further gut Medicare, rural hospitals and things like that. But
Well, don't worry about how we made going to the doctor less accessible and affordable and all that kind of stuff. I put $20 in your hand.
maybe they might pass the daylight savings thing. Maybe.
Maybe. Or, rename another damn post office. Who knows? Um, Congress is in session to really put forth legislation. It is a slow, deliberative body. It was constructed that way on purpose. We get all of that. But they've been on recess so many times. And a lot of it is because Mike Johnson can't control his caucus because he has such a slim majority in Congress. He can't get anything out of either committees, or he knows that if he brings certain legislation to the floor, it won't pass.
Mm.
In this Congress under Mike Johnson, there has been more discharge petitions than in any other Congress. What is a discharge petition? It's legislation has to typically be brought to the floor by the Speaker of the House. That's why he's the Speaker of the House. So I could be a congressman and I go to Mike Johnson and say, Speaker, I really think we need to come up with this minimum wage bill that I'm sponsoring, and I've got 20 other folks that are co-sponsoring this legislation. I'd like to bring it to the floor and have a vote on it. You know what the speaker could do? He could say, okay, let's do it. I like it. Let's do it. Or he can say, eat shit. Now, what a discharge petition does is if you get a majority, which is typically 218 because it's 435 members. So half of that is 417 minus 1. So you got to get at least 218. I'm sorry, 217 minus 1. So you got to get at least 218 signatures to push forward what they call a discharge petition, which is basically an end around the speaker. That's what it's called. A discharge is, we're going to bring it to the floor, speaker, whether you want it or not. Now, there's still certain rules that go along with that, such as the petition has to be signed, then it has to sit for, I think, another 10 days, or up to 10 days. The speaker has 10 days notice to bring it to the floor. He can wait all 10 days, or he can say, okay, y'all got me. I'll go ahead and bring it. Why do they wait 10 days? You know why they wait 10 days, basically, Lori? So they can see who signed it and try to pick them off and see if they can get some of them to take their name off of it. And then it kills it. Perfect example of this was the whole Epstein Transparency Act that all the Democrats in the House signed, but they still needed four Republicans, I think it was 4, to go along with it. And of course, that was Massey, Lauren Boebert, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Was it somebody else? Nancy Mace. So they needed all four of them to go along with this discharge petition to get it to the floor. The reason that there was a don't let them tell you that Trump was going to have the Department of Justice release the Epstein files. They had to do a damn discharge petition to make Mike Johnson bring it to the floor. And they did their damnedest to try to make Marjorie Taylor Greene, make Thomas Massey, make Nancy Mace, make Lauren Boebert pull back their support of it so it would die. And they couldn't do it. They stuck to their guns, and that's why Nancy Mace didn't win her reelection. That's why Marjorie Taylor Greene is no longer in Congress. Lauren Boebert is hanging on the thread, and Thomas Massey lost his primary. So they did stand up for once, and it did cost them. But hopefully they'll be able to sleep at night, knowing they did the right thing. But that's an example of how a discharge petition works. My point behind that was that this Congress has had more of those pass than regular legislation. Meaning that if you are a speaker, that means that your leadership sucks. Is what we like to call ass. It's really bad. Your leadership sucks. Which is why he then has to keep calling recesses and things like that. So they haven't been productive. Their approval ratings are bad. So they're looking for any kind of story to distract voters from how terrible they've been. The war ain't helping. The cost of living isn't helping. Gas prices aren't helping. They don't have anything to run on in November. And then here comes good old Jon Ossoff, who had a campaign rally. And in his campaign rally, he just talked about how ineffective Donald Trump is, how he's not concerned about your pain and about you having to spend more money on things, how everything is up and there's no signs of it coming down anytime soon. And a lot of it is because he doesn't seem very interested at all in doing anything about it. He ain't even acting like he cares about it. All Jon Ossoff then said was all he cares about is building ballrooms and flying on his Qatari jet with Natalie that is seemingly defenseless. And these people lost their shit. Oh my God. Lori, one of these mother effers actually had the nerve. I'm glad I was sitting down. I was about to call her a B word. She had a nerve to sit there and literally say that those comments were beneath Jon Ossoff's office. That's beneath the office of a U.S. senator to say that. Now, number one, they made it a whole lot more. Jon Ossoff, all he said was she was flying on the plane with him. Now, all these people trying to make it sound like he said that they were basically banging it out in the bathroom.
Well, they could have.
Well,
That would have been a little bit messy.
He didn't even insinuate that. He just said the heifer was on the plane with him. He ain't said nothing about they was in each other's arms. They were Googling and nothing like that. It was a romantic getaway. They just said that she was on his plane. Now they go, he insinuating that he's having an affair. Being on the plane with somebody is having an affair with him?
Yep.
But y'all don't want to address Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski on the golf that they bought for themselves?
And all the child abusers that keep getting called. I'm saying
he didn't say anything like they was holding hands. They were trying to sit in the same seat. She was sitting on his lap. They ain't said nothing like she was a Lewinsky 2.0. You know, none of that stuff. They made that into more than what he said. He said he's flying around, him and Natalie. That's all he said. That don't mean that he was saying they were together, but they were on the plane together because she does fly on Air Force One with him. That is factually correct. None of what he said wasn't true. They just mad that he said it and brought her name up. Ooh, he mentioned her name. Wait. And this is beneath his office. Y'all do know I'm sorry. Is it 8:00? Yeah, it's close enough. Y'all do know who the fuck y'all work for, right? This is
Apparently not.
the same dude that when a judge tells him no, not only does he criticize the judge, but then he starts bringing up the judge's daughters and family. Beneath the office, this is the same mother effer that sat there and talked shit about Nancy Pelosi's husband damn near getting beat to his life. Beneath the office, this is the same MF that sat there and when Robert Mueller died said, I'm glad he died. That's somebody's husband and father. But that ain't beneath our damn office. Were y'all outraged when he said that shit? Manufacturing outrage. And then gonna have the nerve to say that what Jon Ossoff said was beneath the office. Get the fuck out of here. Y'all, when y'all say that, you look stupid. You look stupid. When you got somebody that will call reporters piggy, and you're sitting here talking about, oh, the Democrats supposed to be the party of women, the party of women. Well, y'all sure hell ain't. He disparages women all the time. They're low IQ. They're nasty. How many times does he call a woman nasty? Has he ever called a man nasty? I'll wait. He hasn't. But what Ossoff said was disparaging to Natalie Hart because he just said the word Natalie. He ain't even say Natalie Hart. Now, of course, we know who that is. But there was more information about Natalie Hart in Jonathan Swan and Maggie Haberman's book that just came out. There's been a New York Times bestseller that detailed Hart leaving notes in his private quarters talking about nothing matters but you. You're the only thing that matters to me. So if anything would have insinuated that there was something more than a professional relationship, it was really what was disclosed in that damn book. Or even now the story that when he was going to his court dates and there wasn't room for her in the damn motorcade, this heifer jumped in the trunk so that she could go with
a
it.
bag or something.
Yeah.
Carrying diapers or whatever he needs.
I mean, walking around printing out flattering stuff about him and stuff like that just to kind of gas his ass up. It ain't also saying that she was on a plane with him that would have done that. It's everything else. But y'all did the Stephen A. Smith. You took that little bit of a thing and you wanted to manufacture some outrage. What you've actually done is you've put more of a target on Natalie Hart, and you're using Natalie Hart more than anything that Jon Ossoff did the other day.
And also the trying to distract that he's going to go nuclear with Iran. But, he's giving them an economic countdown or something like D-Day or whatever, again, to try and steer away people from the Natalie Hart thing.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. This is all about deflection. When you don't have anything else to go with, you'll let everything become your outrage because that's all you got. And I get that. But they're being disingenuous when she said that was beneath the office or that was below And then one guy said on CNN, well, I think that was just below the belt from Ossoff. Below the belt? Y'all know y'all with Trump, right? Trump sits there and bashes our allies and then talks glaringly about Xi Jinping, Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin, Viktor Orban.
But they'll have a great place to land when he gets his landing pad in at the White House with the ballroom.
That was that was beneath the office. So you don't think it's beneath the office that inflation is up, people's cost of living is up, wages are flat or stagnant, but the president has made $2 billion this year
Yeah.
off of 20 something thousand investments and cryptocurrencies and things like that, and awarding his kids government contracts. That ain't beneath the office, but Jon Ossoff mentioning some white girl on a plane with Donald Trump is.
Hmm.
You know, this is a perfect place to say, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because that's just foolishness. You can't be taken seriously when you say stuff like that, knowing that you spend every single day defending somebody that says stuff a million times worse on a daily basis, not occasionally. Every damn day, you can damn near pull up Donald Trump disparaging somebody. That's just Trump being Trump. He just says it, he just calls it like he sees it. He's a straight shooter. See, when he says it, it's, well, he's not a regular politician. He's just this and he's just that. Okay. He ain't disparaged that reporter the other day in front of that 10-year-old and the 16-year-old that saved him from drowning when he kept yelling at the reporter, be quiet. That's how you talk to people? Quiet. Quiet. He says, you know what I'm saying? Like he was just having fun, just talking down to her because he knew she couldn't say anything back. And it's hilarious that they take this thing that Jon Ossoff did and they turn it into something bigger. Well, that's my thing with that. The other thing that I will say, ladies and gentlemen, too, is don't fall for the okie doke. There's still 3 million files of the Epstein files that have not been released, and many other ones that have been released that are heavily redacted. Do not lose sight of that. He does not want that to be in the news. That's why they bring up all this other stuff. Seriously. Lastly, Lori, before we get out of here, I do want to remind everybody that primary season is pretty much over, and early voting is right around the corner. There has been a lot of efforts to restrict early voting access. So please, please, please make sure that you check that you are still registered to vote, that you have not been purged, and also make sure that you know where your polling location is, whether it's your early polling locations or day of polling locations. Make sure that you know
Precinct.
exactly where those are because a lot of them may have changed. Make sure that you know what you need to have with you, as there are a lot of laws in effect where you have to have IDs
ID.
and you have to have certain types of IDs. Do not give these people any reason to discount your vote. They will look for any reason. If you do a mail in ballot, make sure that it's signed and it's sealed properly. It ain't bent up or nothing like that because they will be looking for any reason to turn your ballot into a provisional or toss it out altogether. Um, they are looking for ways this voting season to cheat you out of your vote. They already talking about dispatching, Harmeet Dillon said, poll watchers to over 1,000 sites for the midterms. Um, The fear is that it's not going to be quote unquote poll watchers, but it's going to be ICE. It's going to be other folks to intimidate, to harass, to discourage, all those things to suppress your vote. Donald Trump is so much against mail-in voting that just the other day he sent in a mail-in vote for Byron Donalds to be governor. Mail-in ballots are bad unless apparently you live at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Outside of that, make sure that you know where you need to go. Make sure that whether you are fully versed in what's going on in politics, learn what's going on in your local area, who's running for your local offices. That matters equally. School bonds, anything like that, who's supporting your educational system, who's running for your county commissions, who's running for your clerks of court, who's running for superior court, supreme courts, state senate, state house seats. Um, all of those matter. Your mayor pro tems, uh, everybody, all of those positions matter. Hell, in North Carolina, apparently, who the damn auditor is matters because they took the power of seeing over the elections from the Secretary of State and gave it to the damn auditor because that was the only position that they could find where it was a Republican. That's how corrupt things are, Lori. There should be a constitutional amendment that actually says, for say North Carolina, the person that oversees state elections is the Secretary of State, as it has always been. They made it the auditor so that they could try to inject themselves, and it still ain't gonna matter because Roy Cooper's still gonna win, and I can't wait till he does. So I stop getting damn text messages every day from Roy with your name on it. Anyway, just my 2 cents. Anything before we get out?
Just make sure you, in addition to what you just said, just have a voting plan. And if you are elderly or, that you reach out to loved ones to get a voting plan and get something together so that you know what you have to do for early voting or for or on election day.
And bring somebody with you.
Yep.
Let them vote. It's power, y'all. All right, y'all. Well, we're gonna get up out of here. We'll see y'all again next week.
Yep.
Until then, y'all stay safe, and we'll see you. Peace.